Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. It is March 14th, 2025. Tanner, Drew, and Laura, we are live.
Ow! Yeah.
Yesterday, I noticed when I said, it's March, whatever, 2025, we are live, that rhymes, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And so it's weird to say, and I realized I have to say that for like a whole year.
Yeah, but
the rest of the year?
Earlier this week, at some point, you said, we are here.
Because it felt weird, right? Because we are like, it's 2025, we are live. It feels like I'm like a radio DJ
Live
in
in
the 80s.
2025.
I feel like it's a gift.
Baby.
You get to rhyme. You get a bust to rhyme to start your morning.
That's true. You should embrace it.
Yeah, just lean in, get a chain.
There's this dude like in New York City. We talked about him the other day. His name's Broadway Bill Lee, and he rhymes his talk breaks.
Yeah, he's stuck in like the 80s.
It's awesome because he's like the best at it.
He's a classic. I would say it's even like, it's like early 80s the way he sends it out.
It's old school for sure, but he's just a pro at it. And he'll talk over a song like, I can't even do what he does.
Jamming, slamming, ramming, and a jamming. Here we go with Alabama.
Let me pull some up. Broadway Billy, this guy, because he posts himself just broadcasting.
But since it's so classic, like, God, I would even say it's like late 70s type behavior.
Yeah, possibly.
But I feel like back in the day, he was on so many drugs. So do you think that he still partakes? Now, because you don't talk that fast if you're not on something.
You can't ride this long without switching to coffee at some point.
Yeah.
This is Broadway Billy. He's still on the radio on WCBS FM in New York.
That's pretty big time.
New York.
This is a rockin' 70s weekend on CBS FM.
Broadway, knowing you got another lousy work week. You look at the news, you just about freak. You got this bead of sweat dripping down your cheek because you're driving around with a bad AC. You know what you need? You need Kool-Aid.
See? He's the best. He's the best.
He is the best. I definitely, every once in a while, you have to go dip in and just listen to him.
Yeah.
And to me, he is not corny, but the shtick on someone else,
If someone else were to
don't try it.
Right, he's
Yeah,
like the only guy who could
yeah.
do it.
You can't
right?
even try.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the LeBron of DJs who rhyme on the radio.
Old school style. So if you want to, harness your inner Broadway Billy, you can do that whenever you want with this date we have now.
Well, it is March 14th. We are here. We are live in the 25s. Pantera tickets later on this morning. One more pair of tickets to see that show coming up in September at the Tanner, Drew, and Laura Amphitheater. I guess it's also known as the Cascades Amphitheater, but whatever. We'll have those at 7:30 this morning. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
And now, the big story.
It's time to go around the room and share what we think the biggest stories of the day are. Laura, you want to go first?
I can go first. Sure. I know this is what's on everybody's mind, but I think the big story is the Golden Globes. And you're saying, well, didn't those just happen? Yeah, they did, like less than 2 months ago. But they have already tapped Nikki Glaser as the host of next year's show.
She's great.
Everyone thought she did such a great job at the Golden Globes this year. I agree. She's hilarious. And so they said, you know what? Why wait? Let's just hire her to host next year's show as well. I'm sure they're hoping that this will help bump ratings. I don't know.
Yeah.
Still too early to say, 10 months out, but we'll see. She is hilarious. So.
Well, the big story to me is there's one show that Nikki Glaser will not be hosting this year, and that is the MTV Movie Awards, which are now known as the MTV Movie and TV Awards. But it doesn't have the ring that it once did with the popcorn bucket, all the antics, trying to kind of piggyback off what they used to do with the music awards, bringing in big numbers. Well, it was canceled last year, and they promised to be back this year, but now canceled again, and it's because their parent company, Paramount, is in the middle of a merger with Skydance Media, and thus they're talking about all these big, extravagant, overpriced things that they're doing are going to start getting roped in, and this is one of them. So maybe the end of that as you know it. Do you remember when Tom Cruise had his Tropic Thunder character and then he showed up on the MTV Movie Awards? It was like,
it used to be fun.
Yeah, it really was.
I remember Mike Myers hosted one year. It was a long time ago when I was a kid, and that was the one that's burned into my brain.
And he was amazing, and I wish we could have more of that, but we'll see if it ever comes back.
I do feel like the popcorn bucket is iconic.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of the popcorn.
They'll do something else like issue it on the web or something dumb.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think the big story is, you may have seen it, an American Airlines Boeing 737-800 experienced an engine fire at Denver International Airport just last night.
Nice.
What?
I said nice.
Oh, yeah. I woke up this morning and just saw smoke on the tarmac. And I go, here we go again.
Wow.
Flight 1000, I guess it's 1006 from Colorado Springs to Dallas-Fort Worth, which was carrying 172 passengers and 6 crew members, had diverted to Denver after a crew reported engine vibrations.
That's not great. Okay, so
I thought it was just like a fire that started on the ground, but no, they were in the air when
engine problems,
issues were having
midair.
Right.
I thought that these engine problems and airplane problems were going to cool down before you two go get on a plane in a few weeks.
I know, and I'm flying into Denver. Not that has anything to do with it, but I did this stuff happen before and we just didn't know about it, and now the media is just picking up on it more, so it makes it seem like it's happening all the time.
I think it's got to be some of that, right?
Crazy, right?
That's nuts.
We'd probably have more information now, and therefore we're all afraid.
Yeah.
Well, more on the stories at 1059thebrew.com. All right, there are a lot of new movies in theaters this weekend, but it doesn't look like anything's good. There's also some movies on Netflix, too.
Okay.
So Opus arrives in theaters today. John Malkovich is in this movie. I guess he's plays a former musician, so I don't know.
I kind of wanted to see that movie, and then I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score.
bad, right?
It's very, very bad. So I was like, nah, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. What was the score for that?
I want to say it's like in the 30s.
Jeez, Malkovich has been gone for a bit. I haven't seen a lot of that guy around.
Yeah, he's going to be in an upcoming Marvel movie. I know that he's in. He's in. I think I can't remember the name of it. Some upcoming Marvel movie. The Electric State is now streaming on Netflix. I think it's time, guys, to stop putting Chris Pratt in movies.
The Electric State?
Yeah. You want to know what the Rotten Tomato score is on this? It's streaming live, so if you want to watch it for free, you can if you've got Netflix. You don't have to pay for it. But the Rotten Tomato score for this movie that stars Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who plays Eleven. And Chris Pratt, who plays everything.
This had to have been an expensive movie.
Probably was. Go look at the budget for it before I read the...
Okay.
Before
What's
I
it
read
called?
the...
Electric?
The Electric State. It's a futuristic world. Orphan teen Michelle, Millie Bobby Brown, embarks on a journey across the American West to find her brother.
$320 million.
$320 million for a Rotten Tomatoes score of 19%.
Oh, no.
We saw this coming. You know, the Chris Pratt thing, like, it was fun.
It's too much, man.
It was fun, but it's like anybody you cram down your throat for too long, it's just like, stop.
I feel like we turn on him. Doesn't matter how great they are, because I feel like everyone kind of loved Chris Pratt at first. In Guardians of the Galaxy, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, he did a couple of other like little side movies that were kind of fun, but he was everything. And then he ended up being Mario, and then now he's in the Monopoly movies as the voice.
In Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and it's like every single little thing he's in.
I'm wondering too if it has to do because I think it was on Amazon Prime. Correct me if I'm wrong. You might know better, but maybe it's on Hulu. I don't know. There's a movie called The Gorge that just came out recently as well. That apparently is also really, really bad, but you can tell they spent a ton of money on it. There's just a bunch of big stars in it. So I feel like studios now are just like, well, let's just put a bunch of famous people in this movie and people will go see it anyway.
It's not going to help, man.
And it's not, I think
Work
it's
on
backfiring.
the story. Work on your movie and stop just throwing people at us like, oh, they'll like this flashy object. Mm-hmm. Make the movie good.
Yeah.
And hate to point at the other actor in this, but Millie Bobby Brown I feel like she hasn't served up much outside of Stranger Things for me.
I don't think she's gonna.
I feel kind of bad because she wants to be like a serious actor, but she's definitely pigeonholed into that role on Stranger Things.
You're 11. Just throw a monster into the wall with your mind.
Yeah, she's one of those people though that when she was 15, she thought she had the brain of a 45-year-old. So I kind of like to see her engine sputter a little bit. Just slow it down.
Someone put in their place.
Yeah, just slow down on how great you are.
I think Novocaine might be the movie to watch this weekend. Novocaine, I think, has got like an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, whatever that is. Jack Quaid's in it.
Novocaine.
Let's see. Oh,
we're going to numb the hell out of your mouth.
It's an action thriller, and it's got a 81% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It all starts with a root canal. Novocaine.
Do love me some Novocaine. You know what?
Did you just have a stroke?
I cannot talk today. It's
a little Novocaine in that
mouth. It's been a long week. You know what movie I want to see that came out, I think, last weekend? Mickey 17.
I just saw it last weekend.
Yeah,
what is this?
It's awesome. I thought it was a really smart sci-fi movie. Most sci-fi movies, and I love science fiction. Most of them are garbage and cheesy, and this I thought was smart. It's based on a book, which I guess makes more sense.
And also I think it's by the people who did Parasite. If you saw that movie.
I hear it. I didn't see that, but didn't that win an Oscar?
It was nominated at least, yeah.
And your inner Twilight can get scratched too.
I know,
Robert Pattinson.
He was good in it. I thought he was pretty funny.
78% on the tomatoes.
Okay.
No, it went down a percent or two. I thought it was more of like an 82% personally.
Okay.
Mickey
fair
17,
enough.
82% seems fair. 78 seems a bit low. Personally.
Anywhere in there, I'll check out a movie. You know, under that, it's like, what are they hiding?
Mm-hmm.
Trailers for all these movies are online at 1059thebrew.com. Just click on Tanner, Drew, and Laura. We got sports coming up here in just a few minutes. What do you have?
Big day for the Oregon Ducks. I'm fully in the gear. It's the Big Ten Championship. We'll tell you what to expect.
That's coming up next.
1, 2, 3.
And now, Brews Sports. Here's Drew.
Well, we all know, excuse me, how last season ended for Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings, where he had the season of his life, throwing touchdowns galore, only to fall apart in the last 2 games of the season to the point where he was sacked 4 billion times. He threw 1 touchdown, and the Vikings were wiped out of the playoffs. The Vikings didn't like what they saw at the end of that season, so they didn't offer him the big bucks. They were offering him a major discount deal compared to other teams. And who landed him? The Seattle Seahawks. But, of course, as soon as he was shown with his jersey yesterday, the media in Seattle wanted to know if Darnold had gotten rid of the cobwebs. He had this to say about the experience.
Oh, here it is.
Learned a ton from those last 2 games, especially playing Detroit and playing LA. We're going to see LA twice a year, obviously, playing in this division, and really looking forward to that. But, it's just, continuing to learn things about yourself, what they did schematically. That's basically all you can do is just learn from those experiences.
I wish Seattle well. I like Darnold, and they gave him a bum deal in Minnesota, but if he wins a Super Bowl, I'm going to be like, this is pretty par for the course, but hey, let's see what can happen in the Great Northwest. And this morning, Oregon Ducks, Michigan State Spartans, we'll break it down just before the game. Big Ten Network, 9 a.m. It's the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tourney, looking to knock off Michigan State. They're favored by 6.5. Go Ducks. There's your sports.
Thank you very much. All right, coming up in a little bit, we've got a list of things. So when you'd go to your friend's house as a kid, and sometimes you'd go to a friend's house who had more money than you.
Yeah,
that was basically every kid.
Yeah,
when I was
every kid for
growing
you.
up.
Yeah, you'd go there and you're like, man, they got a 3-car garage. Or for me, my friend had a Sega, and I knew right away. I was like, oh, this kid's got more money.
Yeah,
I didn't have any of that stuff. So we're gonna go down this list of things that made you seem rich. I guess things that made you seem rich, even though you probably weren't.
You didn't need much, but these things to look rich.
Yeah. 98197 is our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. Like, a few things come to mind right away. I felt like I always would go to my friend's house and feel like they were rich. Like they'd have a swimming pool and like a slide into the pool or something. I never had anything like that.
Yeah, when you mentioned Sega, that was exactly how I saw it the first time. I went to a kid who was well off's house, and they had a Sega and they had one game, and it was Sonic, and I couldn't believe it was on his bed.
For me, it was
like there was a treasure chest sitting there.
Yeah. For me, it was N64. When kids had N64, I was like, damn, you got Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah. And they had some premier graphics at the time.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
It was pretty sweet.
Tell us what is something that made you seem rich or your friends seem rich, even though they probably weren't. 866-445-1059. We also have those Pantera tickets coming up at 7:30 this morning. Hang on.
Want to chime in? Text Tanner, Drew, and Laura anytime on the Lazy Boy text line at 98197.
Portland's Rock Station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. I feel like such an idiot, but also kind of old.
Yeah, why?
There's a band that just came out with a new CD. I love this band, A Day to Remember. They just came out with a new CD, and they're like refusing to stream it for the first couple of weeks.
Okay.
And so I bought the CD, but I haven't purchased an actual CD in a while.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know anyone who has.
Yeah, I think you have to dig. You do have to dig for those unless that's their thing. You know, they're probably doing it as a gimmick type deal.
Yeah, so I went and I bought the CD. It got here yesterday, and then I realized I have nothing to play it in. Like I was going to go play it in my car. My old 4Runner, the one that was totaled, it had a CD player.
Yeah,
but
they don't. I don't think they're putting CD players in new cars anymore.
My 20, I don't know which year I have, the 2022 or something.
You got 23.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a CD player at all.
My car does not have a CD player either.
Well, that's crazy. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll put it on my PC and I'll strip it and then I'll load it to my PC.
Right.
Yeah.
I go downstairs. The $3,200 gaming PC I just bought 2 months ago or a month ago has 0 CD-ROM.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what the hell?
So in order to play CDs, you're going to have to buy an external...
I got to just find a little portable CD player or something and
Just
patch
get a
that in my
boombox.
computer.
Yeah, get a Discman.
You know, Beefwater's got a boombox for you.
sure.
But it's just wild to me. That
is crazy.
That's where we're at. Like, I felt old. I was like, am I that old? Like, where CDs are outdated?
To a teenager, you probably sound like someone walking around with looking for a Betamax or something.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's wild because at one point, the person who had the CD sleeve was God. You know, like who had the giant black canvas zip-up pack.
Just flip, especially if they had like a big taste in music, had all sorts of genres. You know, I loved that.
I actually just found, it wasn't one of the big, like, giant black ones, but I found a little miniature CD case in my car that holds, I don't know, maybe like 20 or something. And I was like, oh, cool, I should play some of these. And then I had the same realization that I was like, oh, I don't even know why this is in my car because I do not have a CD player, so it doesn't matter.
Might as well be vinyl in your car at that point.
I thought about like getting a portable CD player and then patching it into USB in my car like you would back in the day. You'd get that little fake cassette and you push that in.
Oh, yeah. And then there were ones where you had to like put in a little code so that it would use like a bunk radio station. Like,
oh, yeah.
I remember those, yeah.
Kinds of, and they
I
barely
forgot
worked.
about that.
I had
Yeah.
a 6-disc CD changer in my trunk. So
yeah.
it would take forever to switch discs, and then like I'd get sick of the CDs, you know, pretty quickly.
And then you'd have to go and open your trunk and switch everything.
It was such a pain in the ass. I hated it.
That's
So,
wild.
you know, I've got a old school Land Cruiser, which still has a six disc back there. Now, it's on the fritz, but if you guys want, we can pop a fuse in there and we can all sit in the car and listen to a little the old. What if you bring that album over? We'll sit.
I was
going to
say, you can
Land
have a
Cruiser.
little listening party in
Let's
Drew's
do it.
car.
Are you still rocking some old tech? You know, like are you still rocking an old cell phone from, I don't know, like the 90s or the early 2000s?
Definitely people doing that.
98197 is our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. All right, we got this list coming up, things that make you seem rich in a few minutes. Also, Pantera tickets later on this morning. We will play the 5 and 10 game. People are already calling up this morning saying, I want to play, because it's been kind of messy this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. 7:30, listen for those Pantera tickets. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on 105.9 The Brew. Happy Friday. So Rico Bosco from Barstool Sports,
Yeah.
very trusty Rico Bosco.
Sure.
Rico.
He posted the other day, what's like something simple that made you seem rich when you were a kid? And I remember, because we weren't really that rich, not rich at all. I'd go to my friend's house and I would be like, wow, man, they've got a pool table. Oh, they must be rich.
Yeah.
You know, and I would be jealous, right? Because I felt like they had the money. I'm like, what does this guy's dad do? This is awesome.
Must be a doctor. Or
And they got a Nintendo, and they got the running pad for the Nintendo, and
Whoa.
they got the gun for duck hunt. They had all the things.
Oh man. Yeah.
So what's a couple of things that you thought made them seem rich when you went to their house, or made you feel rich even though you weren't?
For me, it was interesting because, when growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. And then when my parents moved us across the river to a place where people had money, but we didn't, so I spent a lot of time in that jealousy lane, or the I wish I could have lane. And one thing that we have already mentioned once this morning, but it's in this lane, is I was always blown away by the person who had the album of CDs. Because there was no greater feeling than to be a guest in a rich kid's car, sitting shotgun with that heavy book on your knees, swiping for any song you ever dreamed of. Where, as in my car, you had Offspring with a scratch in it, like one Green Day album, the Queen's album I stole from my dad, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I love those songs, but I wished so bad that I could have the mega album of CDs.
Those CDs.
I don't know how it's album after album to get that.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you think about it, each CD was what, $20 back then, basically.
Thousands of dollars
Yeah.
in the end. My parents would have laughed me out of the room.
I'd be like,
Can I get a book of CDs?
nice try, kid?
Right. This post started to get a lot of traction, and people were commenting on simple things that made you seem rich, or other people seem rich. And pool table is on the list.
Yeah.
An in-ground basketball hoop is also on the list. I never went to anybody's house.
Oh
that had
my
that.
God. I had a friend in elementary school who had a basketball court in her house.
That's
and
crazy.
you go down the stairs, it was kind of in like a finished basement in a back room, and you walk in and it's just this massive room. There was just one basketball hoop, but it was a big empty room where she would go and play basketball.
Did
and
you
I'm
think they
like,
were super rich because of it?
I think they did have money. Her dad, I believe, was a dentist. So they did live in a very nice house. But I was like, who has a basketball court in their house?
Right.
Yeah, we didn't have our neighbor had a full sport court. It was outdoor, but it was fenced, and it was basketball and tennis and other sports. And
if you had a tennis court, I was like, damn, they're doing well.
Yeah, and it was one of those things that there were 4 boys in my family. You'd have your hands on the fence looking in. You weren't invited over, but you're just staring at the court.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was another level though. If a kid had that, they weren't just well off, they were loaded.
Right. This is another one that made the list, and this is definitely something I thought when I pulled up. And if your family had a 3-car garage,
that third car.
I'm thinking, what the hell is going on in there? They got a boat. They got an ATV in there.
I want to debunk this though, because my dad was a car guy, to the point where we had rusted out cars on the front lawn. We were that family. He insisted that we had a two-car attached garage, and then we had an additional detached garage. So technically, we had a 4-car garage, plus all the cars on the yard. So that made us look less rich.
Yeah, there's a caveat to that. The 3-car attached house garage. You get this out in the sticks a lot, where people are garage rich. It's their whole house is a garage with a little spot, and then there's 2 other garages because they love cars. But it also leads to rustopia.
And one of those is caved in.
Exactly.
100%.
Questionable roof on at least one building.
Other things that made this list is a second fridge just for drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you
the garage fridge.
The garage fridge. That's where the popsicles would be, and the ice cream.
Yeah.
And the cool sodas and stuff.
And when you went to a kid's house, they felt rich if they had along with that fridge, they had the drawer where you open it up and it was all the snacks.
Snack drawer,
if you had gone to a Costco and blindly did supermarket sweep, that's their drawer. That made me feel like you've made it.
Yeah.
You've got endless fruit snacks. That's 4,000 fruit snacks.
You know what's a weird one that I always thought too? Berber carpet. Do you remember Berber carpeting?
I don't know what that is, no.
It's
Berber?
like it's like low piling. So it's just like, I don't know how to describe it.
I thought it was carpet that had been pooped on.
Like thin carpet?
Not thin carpet. You'll just look it up, but hopefully somebody knows what I'm talking about. But anytime I went to a friend's house and they had Berber carpeting, I was like, wow. It was
Right.
just like really popular at the time.
We got text messages coming in on our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line at 98197. This text message comes to us from 8389. It says, when I was a kid, my dad got an Audi as a company car, and we drove that thing daily and made us look way better off than we actually were. Pretty nice having a company Audi. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's on another level, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
7173 says, as a kid, I always thought anyone with a trampoline was rich. I always wanted one, but never had one. Dude,
Same.
yeah, bro. Those were so awesome. I would, especially when you like could super jump your friend into the sky.
Oh, yeah. We had a
I
trampoline,
never
but
had
we
one.
got it for free off the side of the road. So,
See, back when we were kids, they were the real deal, though. None of this safety net around the side. When you got yeeted, it was to the street.
Yep. Bye.
Right. Let's go to Siri and Steve. Good morning, Siri and Steve. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday. Good morning, guys. By the way, I know what Berber carpet is.
Thank you.
It's a very, very expensive carpet. It's like they come in colors also at the same time. It's like really, really small, like twisted, like hair kind of per se.
Yeah, I see it.
It's really thick.
HomeDepot.com, $8 a square foot.
Oh, yeah,
It's
right.
definitely there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So what made me feel rich, to be honest with you, back in the good old days, my dad bought a 1987 Buick Riviera, and it had a little screen in it, like a little TV screen, and it was touch everything, dude. Like the radio, the air condition, the heater, and everything else. And man, all my friends were like, "Holy crap, dude! What is that?"
Wow.
Touch screen.
Yeah, it was like futuristic, man, and everything was digital,
Yeah. It's like when my friend got, you remember the big DVDs? They were like the size of records.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yep.
laser disc.
Laserdisc, those big giant. My friend had that, and I thought they won the lottery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look,
Whoa.
that thing's obsolete now.
Yeah, it turns out joke's on you, bud.
I was relieved when they made 13 movies for that thing, and you're like, oh, God, thank
Right.
God, we're moving on.
Uh-huh.
All right, Steve.
Yeah. All right, love you guys. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate you, brother. This guy from 7002 says he thought people were rich who had a microwave.
Oh.
Microwaves are great, but, I guess by the time I was a kid, everyone, even like
one?
the poorest person I know, had a microwave.
I don't remember having one
That's what poor
when I
people
was
cook with.
super young.
We always had
Well,
a microwave.
I must have.
So you have
I don't.
31 garages and no microwave. You guys
Yeah.
are really
Sounds about
like
right.
priorities straight.
Priorities, Drew. Come on.
One thing that made me think this person was rich when I went over there, I'd go over to their house and I'd see I didn't have anything, so cable was a big thing for me. So if you had cable, to me, you had made it.
Yeah.
Early on,
You know what I
cable
mean?
was a premium.
I had nothing. And in Dallas, Texas, where I grew up, there was like 3 or 4 channels or something like that. It wasn't that many channels,
Yeah.
And so I'd go over to your house and I never wanted to leave. You have Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving this place.
Channels were very light here, too. It wasn't until you get the free sample of Paragon cable that you get a taste of what the rich kids had.
Some other things, some other simple things that made you seem rich when you were a kid, even though you weren't, or your friends, was bottled water. I guess it wasn't really a big thing back then.
I didn't have a single bottle of water probably ever until, I don't know, almost an adult.
I think when I was in high school, we started getting it, but
We had a Nalgene.
Yeah, dude. If I went over to your house and you had a Sega CD, I'm like, God,
whoa.
you guys, what did your dad do again?
Yeah.
Sega CD?
What was your first computer, you guys, floppy disk computer?
Oh yeah.
Because I remember
Apple IIe is the first family computer.
from when I was very young, we always had one of those old computers with a floppy disk. So anytime I went over to my friend's house and they had like a CD-ROM, I always thought that made them rich. I was like,
Yeah.
you got a real computer. That's
Right.
cool.
All right, more of your calls and texts coming up in just a few minutes. 98197 is our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. You can also send us a talkback if you have us on the iHeartRadio app. If you don't, you should download it for your cell phone. For one, it's free. right? You can listen to thousands of radio stations. You can even create your own preset. So make the brew a preset right now. At least a top 5. We got to be in the top 5.
Come on
Let's
now.
do this.
It's 105.9 The Brew. Happy Friday. All right, what is a simple thing that made you seem rich when you were a kid, even though you weren't, or made your friends seem rich We got a lot of talkbacks coming in through the iHeartRadio app. You, of course, can send us one anytime. Just download the iHeartRadio app for your cell phone. It's free. And then press the microphone button to record something.
Talk to me. Morning, TD&L and crew. This is Wolf. What things that made other people seem really rich? The ones that had a house, family, and especially the ones that had family dinner every night. For those of us who didn't, that was wealth extraordinary.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It's very sad.
Oh.
But I mean,
which is
you can still love your family and have dinner if you don't have money.
Which is kind of interesting because like my parents would make us come home to eat in lieu of giving us money. So like we ate together because that was cheaper.
It was a cheaper option.
So I actually, since I had to go home and eat, I felt poorer than the kid who just got to eat at Little Caesars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You always kind
Makes
of
sense.
envy what you don't have.
But I feel like kids who had nothing, like
yeah, that's way worse.
the kids who, you know,
No Little Caesars, no home dinner.
having family and family dinners, that's just like rich in
Right.
life.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially now they don't have the $5 pizza anymore. It's
It's
a
true.
huge bummer.
Truly.
We got more talkbacks.
Good morning, Brew Crew. Happy Bing Bong morning to you.
Bing Bong.
Happy Friday. Builder Bob here. Yeah, I drive a 1990 Ford Ranger with an original.
Oh, that's something else. All right, we got some text messages coming in on our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. It's from 0251. It says, when I was a kid, my best friend's house had an internal vacuum system
Internal
where the
vacuum?
hose plugged into various ports in the walls around the house.
Yes.
Same with sweeping the kitchen. There were vents under the cabinets that sucked up the pile. So, that is incredible.
I would still think that you were rich if you had one of those. I'd be like, what?
So
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's awesome.
When my grandma remarried, he was a doctor and he had the wall vacuum and he would chase flies around with this tube. Like, think about an old man with a tube. It was cool, but on the other side of it, it was an entire closet. It was like another furnace.
Yeah, so like, how do you clean that out?
You guys, you know, rich people stuff.
It probably
Yeah.
it goes to like a bin or something
Don't
somewhere.
ask
but-
questions.
This is another one, and I agree with this person. Anytime I'd go to somebody's house and they'd have this in their yard, I'd think that they were rich, which was a huge satellite dish.
Oh man!
Oh my
Back
God.
in the day,
Which now,
and now
is
you look
such
crazed.
An eyesore.
You look
Yeah.
crazed now.
They're so ugly. My grandpa had one, and like he was retired, so that made sense to me. But like, I'd go to a friend's house. I'm like, you guys got a satellite dish?
Yeah.
What can you watch? We were
Everything.
The
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, we watched shows from the future on this thing. Like they blew my mind. So this guy says big satellite dishes from the 80s is one of them. That's from 7726.
Funny.
It whooped up on our little antenna, that's for sure.
Another one, 9705 says the same thing. Satellite dishes, vacations with hotels instead of at a home or camping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you know, I think about childhood. Most times you'd go on vacation would be, we're campsite, $9.
Yeah.
But the kid is like, oh my God, I got a sunburn in Cabo. When they were 9, you were a
What?
little bummed you weren't there.
Dude, this would have been the greatest thing ever to have as a kid. We got a text message from 8507. It says, I had a friend in middle school who hated being called rich, but he had a powered tree house and a 20 cabinet arcade in his garage.
Oh my God.
Okay, kid.
Don't call me rich.
Well, you
Dude,
are. So
a powered tree house, maybe it's got
You
like
have lights and heat.
that or like one of those electric pulleys you can
yeah, it's the
pull yourself up to
dream
an elevator.
treehouse that every kid wishes they could have.
Punky Brewster had the dream
Yeah.
tree house.
Yeah, my kids ask me for a treehouse on the way home from school every day, and I ignore it.
Like you don't hear it.
I'm like, that's not even plausible.
Oh, wow. Let's go to the phones. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Good morning.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
So,
What's a simple thing that made you seem rich as a kid?
A bonus room. I don't know if that's been covered yet.
A
yeah.
bonus room.
Like a toy room or something? Or
Well,
like-
you can use whatever, you can do whatever you want in there.
You know, because a lot of houses you come in and the
spare
living room's
room.
the TV room. It's that extra room.
Yeah, it's like that big extra room where all the kids hang out. There's a giant TV with like a Nintendo 64. Oh, yeah.
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 And especially if they had multiple gaming systems in the house.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And like the mom in
And
those
the dad will-
in those scenarios, the mom would actually come down and like, anybody need snacks? And it would be like, you have a whole wonderland down there.
Yeah, this is like a restaurant.
At my house, my
awesome.
parents were like, retreat to your room or outside.
Uh-huh.
It was always outside. Yeah.
Here's another one that I just thought of that I thought these people were rich every time I walked in. Back in the day when I was a kid, and if I walked in your house and you had one of those giant TVs that had the 3 lights at the bottom projecting, it was like a red, blue, and
It was red,
blue and green, I
Blue
think.
and green.
Yeah.
But
or
It was
red,
just-
blue, and yellow.
Was he
so,
red,
'cause
blue, and
it's all
yellow?
the colors.
So-
it's primary colors.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like it was like a flat screen TV, but
and the front folded out, and
Yeah.
it had 3 lights on it. I had one of these things when they were dead, so it didn't work. But I actually
like someone gave it to you because they want to get rid of it. type
and
thing.
so they folded out, and this is years and years past when you saw them and they were sexy. But it was the primary colors would glow on the screen and project your image. It was kind of like a personal overhead projector on steroids.
I gotta look this up because I have never seen one.
Yeah,
of
man.
these
If I
before.
walked into your house and you had that, I'd be like, dude, these people are crazy rich.
They made it.
All right, brother. Happy Friday to you.
All right, thank you, sir. You too.
Gang,
All right.
gang, sir. Gang, gang. More text message. You see it now, Laura?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet Beef's got one.
Most likely.
7726 says, I thought people were rich when everyone had their own bedroom. Especially, I guess, if you got a lot of kids in the house.
Yeah.
1912 says, I thought my friends were rich when they had cars as teenagers and video games like the Nintendo and the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when I was a teenager, I had a 1985 Volkswagen Golf. Third kid in my family to get that car. I was very happy about it.
Is that the baby blue one?
Yeah, baby blue. And, so about $1,000 was spent on my car. And then my best friend made the honor roll and got a 1996 Toyota 4Runner.
Wow.
Oh, what?
Limited.
You're like,
And I was like,
okay,
oh my God, I think
got
my
it.
nose is bleeding. I was nowhere near the honor roll, but I don't think that was on the docket.
Yeah.
More talkbacks.
Happy Friday, Brew Crew. Yeah, when I was a kid, if a family had an RV parked out front or
Yeah.
a boat, that made me think of rich money right away.
For sure.
Fun fact, I also still have my black CD case. I've got some Wu-Tang in there, some Beastie Boys, good
yeah.
stuff. I'm so glad I kept it. Bing bong.
Gang, gang.
Morning, Brew Crew. This is Big John. When I was little, my buddy had a snack drawer in his house, like a whole drawer just full of like candy, cookies, just everything. And we didn't even have anything like that. We were so broke. And plus, they wouldn't really last too long outside the store if we did buy that stuff.
Big John would have that whole drawer consumed in a night.
One
Yeah.
handful would take about 20% of it.
Smack your hand anytime he gets
But
close.
that drawer, it just had everything. Like you kept digging and it'd be like red vines and like boxes of candy.
Yeah, this is-
Yeah.
Kudos bars.
Yeah, it's just a drawer of straight diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. But delicious.
Oh, cavity box.
More of your calls and texts coming up in a few minutes. What's a simple thing that made you seem rich as a kid or your friends? You can also shoot us a talkback message through the iHeartRadio app or shoot us a text on our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line at 98197. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on The Brew. Happy Friday. Portland's Rock Station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. We got Pantera tickets here in a few minutes, but we're asking the question this morning. What is a simple thing that made you seem rich when you were a kid? When you weren't, but, you've made you feel rich. Or if you went to a friend's house and you're like, damn, they got a Sega CD. They must got money.
Ooh, this stuff is sweet.
Or I remember if they had like a miniature fridge in the game room or something. I was like, gosh, what's going on here?
You have a fridge and a mini fridge?
Anything like this.
Wow.
This one comes from 7768. It says, having a fridge that you could fill your glass with ice and water right on the door. Dude, I thought those were the coolest thing when I was a kid, and I never had one until I grew up.
Same.
Yeah, I don't think any of us originally had those, right? Like, my childhood fridge was definitely no ice, no delivery system.
Yeah, all the stuff at my house probably was there since like the 60s, because my grandmother had lived there forever, so all that stuff is probably pretty old.
Yeah, it was ancient. I bet that fridge still works, though.
Right, yeah, unlike the stuff we get now.
They don't make them like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to line one. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Good morning. What's a simple thing that made you seem rich as a kid?
Probably my dirt bike. Made me feel real rich as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Your dirt bike.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty fun
My
toy.
dirt bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, not many kids had those, that's for sure.
That's like the version of, it's just your mechanical pony. Fancy bastard. Hi, it's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
Oh, my God.
They're pigging.
Yeah. Oh, is that what they're trying to get Pantera tickets?
I would assume so.
Hi, it's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's High Voltage Maverick.
Hey, buddy.
Reliving the days way back when my dad had 5 wives, and it would have been wife number 4 came to pick me up over in the ghetto for the very first time. And here she showed up in a BMW 318i, and that was the most expensive car.
Yeah.
Oh, the smell of leather and how I was riding around with some hot rich lady that was about to be my new stepmom.
You're like, Christmas is going to be so awesome this year.
That is awesome.
But it also learned how bad she had OCD, worse than my dad.
Really?
And we weren't allowed to sit on the couch. You weren't allowed to switch to TV channels, nor were you allowed to touch the very expensive grass wallpaper. Yeah.
Grass wallpaper.
Jesus.
This lady was on a level.
All right.
Wonder why it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That right there.
The level of OCD is uncompared.
That's crazy. Grass wallpaper, I think I would have just turned around and left.
That's wild.
All right, Maverick, we appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the call. More of your calls on that coming up in a little bit. Coming up next, though, we are going to play our new game, the 5 and 10 game, for your chance at Pantera tickets.
Yes.
The show is coming up in August at Tanner, Drew, and Laura's Amphitheater, also known as the Cascade Amphitheater. Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to play, so far, I think did the person yesterday win?
Yeah, they hit it. They hit it yesterday with the cars.
We've got 50-50 right now.
All right. So who will win or lose today? I'm looking for caller 10 and 11 on the phone right now. 866-445-1059. We're going to give you a category. You just got to name 5 things in that category in less than 10 seconds to win. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on 105.9 The Brew. Happy Friday. We got one of our favorite segments, Terrible News Over Happy Music, coming up here in just a second.
All right, it's been a while.
Yeah, we haven't played that. But first, we've got to play this game. The 5 and 10 game.
Hey.
Oh, that's sorry. That
was perfect.
I didn't mean to hit that sound effect.
Destiny.
There it is. All right, we're going to give you a category, and you just have to list 5 things in under 10 seconds in said category.
Yes.
Let's meet our contestant today. Of course, we got Pantera tickets on the line here.
Mm-hmm.
He is calling from Hillsboro. His name is David. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
What's going on with you this morning, brother?
I'm waiting to go repair a dump truck.
Oh,
Dump trucking.
They need you today.
Dumps like a truck. What?
Yes, sir.
What?
All night long.
How long you been doing that job, brother?
About 15 years.
Wow.
All right.
So you've mastered it. That pretty good
I
pay?
started as a truck driver. Yes, sir. I started as a truck driver and working on trucks, and then I didn't want to drive anymore, so I just work on them.
No, that's good.
That's probably nice
That's
for,
cool.
it helps when you don't sit in that bed all day or that cab all day long.
For sure.
It's stressful.
Yeah, right?
Driving is very stressful.
I mean, you just got to pay attention at every single moment, because if you don't, you know.
Lethal weapon.
Yeah, you're...
And you got to deal with dum-dums like us and all of our little normal cars.
I mean, the three of us
Everybody
are really
wants to
chill.
get in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We don't do it, but we hear about it.
Of course not.
All right, bro. You know how to play the game, right?
Yes, sir.
So, have you heard of people play this week? Is it frustrating to hear people fail?
It is. It is.
All right.
But yesterday and the day before they won.
That's true.
Yeah, so we're on a roll.
All right, sir.
All right.
Today, you have 10 seconds to name 5 Marvel characters. Go.
Green Lantern.
Nope.
Superman.
Nope.
Spider-Man.
Yep. There it is. No, you didn't get it. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Green Lantern and Superman are DC characters, my friend. Oh boy.
Man.
Oh, man, that's a bummer.
Means you've got to
I
listen
feel
to
bad.
us.
David was so excited.
He was so
Great
excited.
energy. Definitely doesn't watch those movies.
No.
Let's go to Tim. Good morning, Tim, in Vancouver.
Good morning.
You just got yourself tickets to go see
Wahoo.
Pantera.
That's good. Yeah.
That sucks.
That was a walk-off win, too. I mean,
Yeah.
first two were incorrect, so it
Yeah.
was like time was against it.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Hang on, Tim. We'll get your information. And, David, you can try again next week for... I don't even know what we have next
We
week.
have David Spade tickets next week.
Oh, nice.
Not quite the same as Pantera, but
Not at all.
still
Did
good.
you just go,
It goes,
Dude, one night full of like one big kayak commercial. Come on.
But maybe you and Tim here's your chance to become buds. Maybe he'll take you to the concert with him.
You doubt it.
I'll just buy
way.
tickets.
One says no way, and the other one says I'll just buy them. They are
Right.
not going to be buds.
Absolutely not.
all right, hang on the phone. We'll get your information, and we'll see you at the show. All right, coming up here at the top of the hour, so we found out Tori Spelling. You remember Tori Spelling, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's got a podcast now.
90210.
Yeah. She's got a podcast now called Misspelling.
Oh, that's clever.
Oh, hilarious.
And yeah, so she, in the podcast, admitted that she never drinks water.
It's a weird flex. Not sure
Right?
why she's
So's the title of her
bragging about
podcast.
that.
Misspelling, get it? Like, I have trouble with reading?
So she never drinks water, and we want to know this morning, what is something that you should be doing every day that you're just not doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll take your calls here in just a few minutes. Hang on.
story.
It's time to go around the room sharing what we think the biggest stories of the day are. I can kick this one off today.
What do you got?
I think the big story of the day is Time Magazine has named the world's greatest places of 2025.
Ooh.
So everywhere.
Everywhere. The world's greatest places all over the planet. And this includes a variety of hotels, cruises, museums, parks, and more in two categories, places to stay and places to visit.
Okay.
And it looks like the world's greatest places to stay include many places in the U.S., like places in New York, North Carolina, and here in Portland, Oregon.
Really?
It looks like the Wine Spa has made the list of one of the world's greatest places to visit, according to Time, the Wine Spa.
Interesting. You know what? I just drove by the Wine Spa the other day, and I thought that would be an interesting experience.
So what exactly is a wine spa?
I think it's just where you go and...
Just what it sounds like, right? Just you drink wine in the spa?
No, but I think you sit in wine. Like, I think the water is...
What?
Oh.
I think it's like, you know...
I thought you just sip wine in a hot tub.
I don't think so, because I feel like that's frowned upon, right? Like, you're not supposed to be drinking in a hot tub.
Oh. I guess there's
done
that
it many times.
But I mean, sure, we all do it. But
I see, yeah. But
I don't want to get this information.
that seems
wrong.
expensive. It can't be cheap wine, right? It's got to be cheap wine, I would think.
Yeah, you'd think Charles Shaw is all, you're putting some Chucky Chuck in there at $3 a bottle.
Wine-infused relaxations. They call it vinotherapy.
So it's not all wine. It has an essence of wine in the water is what I'm thinking.
Okay,
because
so you gotta-
just can't afford to do that and then clean the wine.
We
That's
go
what
through a
you
lot
do.
of boxes of wine here. It's
It would-
great.
yeah,
It's
you're right.
Franzia, baby.
It would be out of... Yeah, slap the bag. Our vinotherapy packages include a soak in a fully private wine-infused bath, a massage, and a glass of wine. So there you go.
Yeah,
there-
the Wine
there is,
Spa,
yes.
one of the best places to visit in the world, according to Time Magazine.
Sounds
And you can
kinda
get, and you do
fun.
get a glass of wine. So
You do.
That's all
Yeah.
part of the party.
I think the big story is that everyone's kind of fed up with the cost of everything, right?
Yes.
Well, bad news. That's not changing. Prices are still going up. This time, Northwest Natural wants to raise gas rates nearly 7% for single-family homes, which would increase an average monthly bill $5.55. They say the increase is needed for inflation, higher interest rates, and investments to increase safety. The Oregon Public Utility Commission is going to be holding an event to take comments on March 18th if you are interested in attending. But yeah, so...
What a time to be alive.
I know. I don't understand. I don't know. I guess I don't understand a lot about this, but
It's not for us to understand. Pay the bill, Laura.
I guess so.
The big story to me is a study reveals that we're all wrong about snake bites, guys. When you think of a snake bite, you probably think of what? A tourniquet? Maybe suck the venom
That's
out?
what I was
Isn't
gonna
that what
say.
we've always been told?
Yeah.
Apparently negative.
Oh.
I wasn't going to do that anyway.
You want to let your friend die? But in a pinch, like if I hadn't Googled it or we were out of a cell signal and you're like, suck the venom out of this, I'd be like,
I guess.
Okay, I guess I could do it for you.
Can I just pee on it, or is that a
That's a
jellyfish?
jellyfish.
It's something
Yeah.
else, but
I might just pee on it
I
anyway.
will also do that for you. Now, they're saying what you have to do is use 100% of your focus on getting to a hospital or a medical facility. I know that sounds silly, but the average person waits over 1 full hour before they're seen by a professional when bitten by a snake. And in reality, as soon as you're bit, you got to hit the road.
As soon as I'm bit by anything, I go right to the emergency room.
What if
Yeah,
you're in the
you
middle
should.
of, what if you're in the
I'm
middle
there.
of nowhere? What are you supposed to do?
Well, then you try to get somewhere. And if you, now there are going to be scenarios where it's you all alone and you got to figure it out.
You better pucker up.
But that's, I mean, yeah, you might be ready for a long night. You might start to hallucinate. But you got to get to a hospital because that hour you spend sucking venom is actually the stuff that could kill you.
Or if you're going to suck venom, at least do it on the run.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Like,
Get moving.
Say your shoulder, I get on your back, suck venom while you jog in.
There you go.
Seems like a pretty harsh insult. Suck venom.
Suck
Dude,
venom.
don't say that to me, man.
Just suck venom, dude.
Dare you?
Bruh.
All right, more on those stories at 1059thebrew.com. Just click on Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Coming up next, we want to know if there's something that you know that you should be doing every day, but you're not doing it. We found out Tori Spelling just doesn't drink water. We'll find out why coming up right after the Scorps, and we'll take your calls in minutes. It's 1059 The Brew, Tanner, Drew, and Laura. All right, this morning we would love to know, is there something that you know you should be doing every single day, or at least more than you're doing it, and you're just not doing it at all?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that thing? We found out yesterday that Tori Spelling, from 90210, she's got a podcast called Misspelling, and she says, she doesn't drink water at all, ever.
That is crazy to me. Like, to not drink as much water as you should, that's common. But to never drink water?
I mean, she's got to.
Got to be something else.
I'll play the podcast clip, but I have a feeling like she just doesn't drink it that much. Like, she'll probably have a glass every couple of days or something.
Or she doesn't drink it alone. She always puts a powder in it or something, a special electrolyte blend.
My mom's that way.
What
She
else
just-
do you drink?
My mom has a problem just drinking straight water, and she always has to have something in there.
I mean, I was like that when I was a kid. I was like, water, boring. It doesn't taste like anything. Meh. But to not drink it
At all. Yeah, I would just, in Texas, I'd be out in the sun for so long that you would crave it.
Yeah, it's just like,
here's
refreshing.
Here's Tori Spelling on, her revealing that she never drinks water.
Our body is comprised of 75% water. So I like to say I'm an anomaly because I don't drink water. And when I say I don't drink water, I don't drink water. Like, how I'm still living, no one knows. I'm like a cacti. Like, you just water me once in a while, and I somehow survive.
Yeah, she's like a desert plant.
I feel like it's like a humble brag, but it's something you should not be bragging about.
And not suggesting that other people do to your to your podcast listeners. Don't drink water, just have a Gatorade.
Right.
Like, you got to have water.
Yeah,
and who knows if that's, the way that she eats and all that stuff is like, she doesn't necessarily exercise because she does all this weird stuff. Like, if say you work outdoors for a living or you do exercise, if you don't have any water, your muscles are going to lock up. Like, the cramps that would hit my feet alone if I didn't have water and electrolytes in my body.
That's why you get a Charlie horse when you're on the toilet, Tori.
Yeah.
Why does
this keep happening?
Speaking of being on the toilet, I wonder what her bowel movements are like. Because
dry.
But when you're dehydrated, it gives you diarrhea.
Oh. Yeah.
And so it's the opposite. You go liquid.
Let's liquid on the phone here. I don't know.
Hello, is this liquid?
I tried to go French to soften the blow.
It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Hi. Is there something that you should be doing every day that you're not doing?
No, not really.
So what's up,
nice gentleman?
Oh, I didn't know y'all were going to put me on live. I've just called to tell y'all some trivia on Pantera if you wanted it.
Oh, man.
No, I'm all right, bro.
Trivia.
Wait, I want to hear some Pantera.
We're in the middle of
Laura,
something.
what are you talking about? You're like a squirrel.
She's like the dog from Up.
Well, I mean, he took time out of his day to call us and tell us some Pantera
All right,
trivia.
sure. Share some Pantera for Laura so we can move on. Oh, he hung up. All right, thank God.
Oh, well.
It's like, Laura, let's just feed the animals at the zoo and see what happens.
There's something that I actually wasn't doing until just recently.
Yeah.
And that's taking vitamins.
Oh.
I wasn't taking any vitamins. My doctor goes, dude, you're really low on vitamin D. And you just got to go get some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I've been taking vitamins like crazy because just most of my life I've never taken vitamins. I did when I was a kid, right? Your mom would force you to a little
You got
Flintstone
your
vitamin.
little Flintstone vitamin, yeah, but
But I
that
just-
kind of tastes like candy anyway. So
in my adulthood, I just never got around into the habit of taking vitamins.
I think I took a 20-year break from a vitamin.
Yeah.
You think about from
basically
15 to 35.
As soon as mom just told me I didn't have to listen to her anymore, I stopped taking vitamins.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though
taken
those
a-
Flintstone vitamins were kind of good.
They
let's
were
be-
tasty, but I have taken a multivitamin for forever, but it hasn't been until recently also that I started taking additional vitamins for specific things. Like it's like, oh, your iron is low. I guess I should take some iron. Oh, your feet are cramping up. You're getting muscle cramps. All right, I guess I'll start taking magnesium, B12, like all these other things that, as you get older, you realize you need.
What is something that you should be doing every day that you're not doing? This text comes to us from 8057. Tori Spelling doesn't drink water. I thought horses needed water.
Oh,
They
stop
do.
it.
I mean, how are you supposed to finish the race?
You know what they say though. You can lead a horse to water, but
you can't make it drink.
That's right.
This text comes to us from 1912. It says, as a female at 250 pounds in a sit-down job, I should be exercising more. Maybe this summer I'll start with my teenager. I need a buddy. I think that's my issue. I need a workout buddy.
Honestly, accountability is so important.
Right.
And the hardest thing to do is to take that first step. But once you get going, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, and if you're dying to stand up, it's just slight diet changes and just movement. Go for a walk.
This text comes from 1771. It says, "Good morning. I should be taking my cholesterol medication every day and having more sex."
I think we all should be having more sex. Let me text my
agreed.
wife.
Yeah.
But dude, take your cholesterol
Yeah,
medication.
come on. If it's, I know a lot of people have a hard time remembering to take pills and stuff like that, but it's
Yeah.
like set a timer or do something. Because once it's a part of your routine, it's so much easier to remember.
Yeah, everything is routine like that, and that way
Yeah.
you never forget.
5 or 6 years ago, I was on an antidepressant, and when I first started, I was really bad about taking it every day. I would just forget, because I was supposed to take it in the morning, and I'm, in a hurry, and then next thing that I would realize the day's over, and I'm not taking it at night because it gets you all wired.
Yeah.
And then I'd wake up in the morning and do the same thing again.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know,
what's
3
even
days
the
in,
point of this?
3 days in, I'm getting the brain zaps.
Yeah.
Exactly, because then 2 days turns into 3, 4, and then you're
Sucks.
starting over.
And anybody getting off those antidepressants know those brain zaps are the worst.
It is the worst.
The absolute worst. So, what's something that you should be doing every day that you're not doing? Drew, is there something that you think, I should do that a little bit more?
I absolutely should, and it's funny because the person who tells me I should is my dentist, who happens to be my brother. But my teeth, I don't know if it's stress, but it's also because I've got reconstructed teeth to where if I clench my mouth, it'll cause a jaw ache, and so they made me this beautiful night guard that I'm supposed to wear every night. Now I have lost and found this thing 3 times. They've made me new ones. They've petitioned insurance to get me new ones because I, lose them or whatever. I've had a night guard for about 2 years. I've worn it 3 nights in 2 years, so that I'm 3 for almost 700.
So why do you just not remember, or is it uncomfortable?
It's a combination of things. It's when I get to bedtime, I'm so done that normally I'm just like, nah. And I go to bed, and if it doesn't hurt, then I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't hurt. Then you wake up and it hurts, and you're like, oh, wait, I'd ground my teeth for all these hours.
Yeah.
The whole premise is I should, but I don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
And every time I go in, they're like, did you bring your night guard to be cleaned? I'm all, don't worry, it's clean. No one's touched it.
It's a little dusty, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, the ladies over there, they frown on my behavior, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit something that I really probably shouldn't admit.
Uh-oh.
I feel really bad about it, too, because I really take care of my animals pretty well, but I neglected my cat for a little bit there. Oh, no. So I have to give her a medication twice a day.
Yeah.
And there was like a few days I just gave it to her once. And then I noticed her pulling out her hair out. She was like pulling her hair out with her teeth.
Oh, yeah.
And so I asked the vet, and they go, yeah, are you being consistent with the medication? And I went, oh, you know what? I've only been giving it to her once for the last 3 or 4 days.
Oh, no.
I guess that raises her blood pressure.
Stressed
and
out.
she was just ripping her fur out.
So when she gets that extra bit, does that stop?
Everything calmed down like immediately.
Oh, nice.
As soon as I gave her, and so now I have it on my phone. 5 a.m., 5 p.m.
Which is too bad because
is key.
If it would have worked, then you'd only have to buy the meds half the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
the vet just doubled your costs.
Well,
but
it was expensive. I was trying to see what I could do with it, but apparently she used it twice a day.
Fair enough.
Follow the directions.
Yeah.
All right, 98197. That's our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. What is something that you should be doing every day, but you're not doing it?
1, 2, 3.
And now, Bruce Sports. Here's Drew.
Well, all right, Seattle Seahawks fans, you got him. Whether you wanted him or not, you got Sam Darnold, which, it's funny, my brother's a Jets fan. The Jets were the team that drafted him 3rd overall. He blew up so much in New York that they used to say that he saw ghosts when he was there. He once muttered it into like a mic'd moment on the field. So everyone's like, well, yeah, guy sees ghosts. He'll never be good. Well, he went to Minnesota, won 14 games, threw a boatload of touchdowns, but then at the end of the season, things just fizzled out enough for the Vikings to say no long-term deal. If he would have won those last 2 games and even made it all the way to the NFC Championship, he would have made another $100 million.
Yeah.
Instead, he gets the 100 from Seattle, heads out of town. But he was asked, what did you learn from throwing all of 1 touchdown and getting sacked that many times in 2 games? He said this.
Learned a ton from those last 2 games, especially playing Detroit and playing LA. We're going to see LA twice a year, obviously, playing in this division, and really looking forward to that. But it's just, continuing to learn things about yourself, what they did schematically. That's basically all you can do is just learn from those experiences.
And it's quarterbacks that people are waiting on. Aaron Rodgers still apparently holding the Steelers hostage, as he has not let anyone know his plans, but it's got everyone in limbo as they wait. Ducks win yesterday against Indiana to stay alive in the Big Ten tournament. It looks like they'll be in no matter what when it comes to Selection Sunday, but you want to raise that stock and get yourself a little higher seed as Oregon takes on Michigan State here in about a half an hour. Underdogs by 6.5. And, you can't bet on college sports in Oregon, which is a tragedy, because I do like the Ducks here, plus 6.5, but Michigan, number 7 in the country. Let's get some. Go Ducks. There's your sports.
Thank you much. All right, coming up next, we've got more of your calls and talkbacks coming up. We want to know if there's something that you should be doing every day, but you're not doing it. We found out Tori Spelling doesn't drink water.
Which just blows my mind.
Yeah. I can't imagine that her system's going to, she's going to end up just giving out. Like, it's okay for now, but eventually it's just going to all fall apart.
Does she drink?
She probably,
Because I feel like after I drink, especially like the day after.
You need water.
My body craves water. It's all I want.
I can't imagine her not having a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Her lips are cracked. Her eyes are just deep red. What's happening to me?
What is something that you should be doing every day that you're not doing? 866-445-1059. You can also shoot us a talkback message through the iHeartRadio app. Download it for your cell phone today. All right, Tori Spelling doesn't drink water. That's what she said on her podcast the other day. She never drinks water, which is crazy to me. So what's something that you should be drinking? Because you're supposed to, how much water are you supposed to have every day?
It's like 8 glasses every day, but that's based on...
That's hard. That is hard.
But that's based on, what, 8 ounces?
Yeah,
Is
and
that what that would be?
Doesn't it depend on how heavy you are, too?
Yeah,
Probably.
it's all comparative to your weight and your overall height. But I feel like it's a lot easier to drink water in the morning when you're parched. So I always just try and front load because you know you're going to waver later.
Yeah. We want to know what's something you should be doing every day. Are you not drinking water every day? I started taking my vitamins finally because I wasn't doing that for the majority of my life until recently.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to line 1. Hi, it's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. What's something that you should be doing every day but you're not?
Cleaning my house.
Yeah?
It's a tough deal.
How messy is your house getting on the daily that you need to clean it? Because I feel like if you just tidy up after you're done doing stuff, that
A little
prevents
bit.
you know?
I work 2 jobs and raising 2 kids, so it's hard to clean the house.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I guess that's another thing I should do every day with the dog. I have a golden retriever, and I probably should vacuum every day. Beefwater goes, I vacuum every single day. You know, and he doesn't even have a golden retriever.
Yeah, but like, who has the time?
That's what I'm saying. And I got there's
Especially
steps and everything.
When you got 2 jobs and kids, like, that's a lot.
And it's funny how Laura makes it so simple. Like, well, why don't you just tidy up? It's like when I was a bachelor, there was no like, let's just stop down and tidy up. But at my house, Amy will be like, all right, everyone, let's do a 5-minute cleanup. And everyone cleans for 5 minutes, where that was a foreign plan.
Right. But
to
those 5 minutes change
It changes everything. And if you do it every day.
Especially when you got all hands on deck.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, maybe you're
Get
gonna
those kids cleaning with you. I don't know how old they are, but once they have hands that clinch,
You got
they
time
can
to
clean.
lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have any dogs, but I don't think you need to do it every single day.
Depends
I got 2 dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you better get in there.
And an umbrella cockatoo.
Okay.
Oh my
And a
God!
bird,
so
too.
your place
Man.
smells like the zoo.
Oh, yeah. Well, and cats. We have cats.
All right. Yeah.
Defend it to a point, Tanner.
All right. All right. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, some people try to take care of it.
Yeah, but if
some people just let that newspaper under the bird just get all poopy.
What a little dander do, you know?
Let's go to line 2. Actually, before we go to the phones, let's play a talkback message here. Hold on the phone, okay? Okay. We got a talkback message from this guy.
So there's a few things that I don't like. The major thing is I don't do eggs for the past 29 years. My parents gave me the option, and I hate the taste of eggs. So I stopped eating them. And there's a few more, but that's the major one. But I know that I need eggs for protein.
For the protein, now's a good time to not be eating eggs.
That's true.
They're
You're
super
saving yourself
expensive.
a lot of money. And when I was a kid, I didn't like eggs either. I thought that the consistency was weird, and I just didn't like it.
They're
But
scrambled and had some salt and pepper on it. I could rock them. But
I've got one kid who doesn't eat eggs, and I made the mistake of giving her the option at one point.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass. Your parents were highly annoyed, not you guys, but this guy who just called, highly annoyed that you had to have a separate menu item. Because when you're making stuff for kids, like, oh, sorry, we're going to stop down for your personal egg issue.
yeah.
Well,
You're 7, eat the eggs.
I was an only child, and
Yeah.
so and my mother loved me. Let's go to line 1. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening?
I don't wear a seatbelt.
Whoa, ever.
If I'm doing something dangerous at work, I'll put on a seatbelt, and you better whip out a camera. But for the most part, I don't wear seatbelts.
What do you do? What do you do at work that you need to wear a seatbelt? You run like an excavator or something?
Exactly.
All right.
And I build mud piles with it, and so. But yeah, I got in an accident when I was 15 years old, in the passenger seat, and a car hit my door and smashed it all the way to the console, and I lived through it because I wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, but that's like a miracle.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you what to do because you got your ways, but you should think about that.
So are you thinking like if you're in another accident that you'll just kind of flail like a drunk person? Because I always say the drunk person will usually survive the car accident because they're just flailing. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Well, the larger the vehicle, the more confident I feel.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think
Until
that's like
you
a false sense of confidence in some cases.
When you goulash a
Well,
windshield.
and see
yeah.
And the thing is like it's like a seatbelt and a helmet. those don't save anybody but you. So shouldn't that be your choice?
I mean, I do agree with that point. Like, I think, do they have helmet laws here in Oregon?
Yeah, well, for kids.
In Colorado, they didn't have helmet laws, so you just saw people riding around on their crotch rockets without a helmet. And everyone's like, oh, that's so dumb. But
Oh, you have to on a motorcycle. I thought you were talking about a bike.
No, I mean like motorcycle. But it's kind of the same deal where it's like a helmet and a seatbelt is, if you're going to make it a choice
If
for
I
one
want to
thing,
splatter my brains on the pavement, that's my right.
That's your choice. Yeah, but I do think it's also the smarter option to wear both a helmet and a seatbelt. So
yeah.
Do you don't happen to have like kids or a wife, do you?
Yes, I actually have a quadriplegic wife from a car accident.
Who needs
And
you
the
dead?
seatbelt
Oh
broke-
my God.
The seatbelt broke her neck. The seatbelt broke her neck.
Okay, well,
So he's got a thing against seatbelts.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It does make sense from his perspective.
I see where he's coming from.
I would be a bit gun shy.
But I think it's just those are
I
kind
had
of
this
fluke
opinion way
situations.
prior to that.
I just feel like they're kind of fluke situations, and I feel like there's going to be that one time you should have been wearing your seatbelt and you weren't.
You're going to fly straight through the windshield and get run over by a semi.
And you're a caretaker for your wife.
Yeah, what's your wife going to do if you...
but I mean, if bad things have happened to... I get it.
What's your wife going to do if she flies out like Superman from your windshield?
She's at the point right now where she lives in a skilled facility. She got a really nasty cyst on her spine, and it put her back to square one again, and it's more than I can handle.
Yeah.
So we just hang out in her place 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And,
Well, you're a good man. I just want to see you live a long time. That's the main point here.
Well, with my habits, I don't see that. She'll probably outlive me.
Fair enough.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call, dude. Have a great weekend. Wow. Wow.
No,
I mean, from his perspective, I get why he has a thing against him, but
it kind of makes sense.
I just feel like the stats might show otherwise. Like stats show that maybe you should wear it. It's going to save your life.
There's a crash test dummy rolling over in its grave right now.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of text messages coming in on our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line at 98197. This text comes from 0253. It says, I'm 35 and I hate vegetables and a very small few I will tolerate out of the mix, and that's it.
And what are they, like carrots?
They didn't say.
That was a later in life thing where I was like, okay, I have to force a salad. And when you haven't had a salad in 10 years, it feels like you're just having green dirt. So it's something that you have to get acclimated to even put up with.
True, and it's kind of like you just like work your way into it slowly, and then you learn how to prepare those things to where they don't taste as bad.
You start with a lot of dressing, little salad, and work your way to the middle.
Exactly.
7448 sent a text message in and suggested one that I used to not do, but I do it every day now, and that's flossing.
Yeah, I didn't floss when I was a kid.
Me either.
But I do it religiously now.
Yeah, it's like and my dentist always tells me you've got great teeth hygiene because I get in there and it feels good too to get it all out.
Yeah, I definitely neglected the tooth care. I always brushed my teeth, but I was like, yeah, I'll floss once in a while. You get older, you're like, I got one set of teeth. Let's do this.
And it's it's good to hear something from your doctor when all you hear is your body's falling apart and you need to get it together. So it's nice to hear.
It's nice that you're doing a good
You
job.
got one
good job.
Yeah, you're all mouth, baby.
7797 says, okay, people shouldn't masturbate every day because when it comes time for the real thing, they will be in ED mode.
Okay. Well, so they're saying you shouldn't
You shouldn't
be
do it
doing
every day.
day. It really comes down to timing.
I could argue that point where like you're a little desensitized to it when the real things happen, and then maybe it like
I'm here to tell you that is not true.
takes
Yeah,
too
I will say there's
long.
something
I don't
special
know.
about the real thing, especially if it has been a while, and it is a magical moment that most people can get their head around.
Something I should be doing every day that I'm not doing is encouraging Tanner to hook up with Laura's mom.
Oh,
That
okay.
is, okay.
That's from
Nobody
3280.
nobody wrote that. You made
It's from
that up.
3280.
Well, listen up, 3280. You get out of here with that.
And she's dating Tony.
Yeah,
the tone. Don't
I
we
don't know.
don't we talking about?
her and I have a spark. It's undeniable.
I cannot.
7462 says, I haven't been to the dentist in 7 years. I finally started going this year.
Honestly, I feel like that's
Wow.
more common than you would imagine.
7 years for the dentist, bro?
There's got to be shame involved too. Like when you
After a while,
say you've got teeth that are rotting out or you've got these problems, you're afraid to show it to people.
Yeah, and you've seen people in those teeth commercials where their confidence is instantly boosted once they have their teeth fixed.
It's everything.
What we should do next week, We should do this. There's a bunch of topics we got to do this week that we came up with today. How long has it been since you've been to the dentist? It's got to be
I
one
bet
of
we
them.
will get higher than 7 years.
Have you been to a bacon and beer? We got some field goal looking teeth out there.
And it would be awesome to actually, it would be great, and I don't know if this is possible. It would be cool if we could get a dentist on board to give a listener like a new mouth.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Because
Fix the grill.
That would be, Tanner, Drew, and Laura give you a grill.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
We'll
would be nice.
workshop the name.
Yeah. Clearly, these guys.
Like, I thought I was getting I think barbecue is what I worry about when you say I'm giving you a grill.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. They're like, I thought I was getting a Traeger.
All right, working title.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
The point is that
It would be it's a great idea, though.
7 years is a long time. I bet there's people who haven't been to the dentist longer than that.
Oh, guaranteed.
But we'll find out. But 7 years, bro.
I'm sure somebody's going to trump that number with a big dog. I haven't been since I was 13.
I haven't had teeth, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Once you lose them all, you're better off because then you can snap in a set.
If you don't have teeth, like let's say you have fake teeth or whatever, and you pull them out, you still have to brush your gums and your tongue and all that stuff, right?
I would guess.
I don't know.
You still have
That's
to
actually a good question.
brush your tongue, the roof of your mouth, inside of your cheeks, and and your gums.
Because you have to do that anyway with teeth. You got to brush your gums and all that stuff.
You still have to have good breath.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like the reason you pay such close attention to your gums is because they help your teeth.
Yeah, but like you still have to have decent breath.
You still wake up with like halitosis you need to scrub off there.
Yeah, true.
So you better scrub them.
I don't know.
Maybe they make
like
is a morning mouth.
Scrub
maybe
those
they
mouth
make
nubs.
Special tools for the gums.
I'm sure they do.
Gummin'.
Gum love.
More your calls and texts coming up in a few minutes. Hang on. Portland's Rock Station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura wanting to know, what are we wanting to know this morning?
We want to know what you should be doing, but you aren't.
I should probably I should be getting some sleep.
Yeah.
It's all coming here in a couple hours.
Dude, I haven't, like, this week, I don't know how it is for everybody else, but, like, I know Laura and I were experiencing the same thing. Wednesday, Thursday, today have been really rough because of the time change. Like, now it's catching up with us.
Yeah.
And I think I'll be better next week, but boy, losing that hour of sleep, it's a real adjustment.
Yeah, it's like a delayed type of thing, too. Where
It's
it's
like when
at
you work
first
out.
you're okay, yeah. But it
Second
gets
day's the
worse.
worst.
It gets worse as you go.
That's right.
So, anyway.
Limp along till the finish, and then go hard all weekend and show up with no battery tomorrow.
Exactly.
Next week.
Next week, Monday.
We want to know what's something that you should do every day that you're not doing. A lot of people. I remember Jay Leno saying he never ate vegetables. Like, Jay Leno does not eat vegetables.
Yeah, which I think, I don't know, I hear people say that, and I'm like, come on now. We're all adults. Eat your vegetables. There's got to be something out there
Steamed
that
vegetables
you
are
can
good.
find
I like me some-
enjoyment in,
Some
you know?
steamed vegetables. I don't like them just raw.
Yeah, and Woody Harrelson says you got to eat them raw, but any way you can get them down is what I say is the way you should eat them.
He's high out of his mind all the time.
But aren't we all?
We got some talkback messages coming in through the iHeartRadio app. Download it for your cell phone.
Can't believe Tori Spelling is ignorant enough to not drink copious amounts of water. With all the nips and tucks she's done, water gives your skin elasticity.
That's true.
She's going to look like nothing more than a dried up old raisin if she continues to not drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Just really dumb on her part.
I don't think anybody ever accused Tori Spelling of being a very smart person.
No.
That's fair.
I just don't drink water. And what's up? You can hear all the surgery in her, like all the plastic surgery. I feel like you can hear it.
Yeah, it's just kind of crunchy.
You know, it's like they people who've had a lot of surgery, you just hear a lot of mouth paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's
Well,
been
her lips are
chasing.
so big.
You think about it. Her dad put her on 90210 as a teenager. She's been chasing for a long time.
Yeah.
Our body is comprised of 75% water. So I like to say I'm an anomaly because I don't drink water. And when I say I don't drink water, I don't drink water. Like, how I'm still living, no one knows. I'm like a cacti. Like, you just water me once in a while, and I somehow survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's not necessarily like that talkback said. It's not all about survival. It's just about, like, it will improve your mood. It will improve your skin. It will improve, like, it's just like all these things it's beneficial for.
And her voice is all, it's like a hinge that needs lube. Like, let's get something in your body.
You need to be watered, lady, like a plant.
Something.
Yeah. Here's another talkback.
Well, I never drink water either, but I drink a shun of iced tea. So technically, that's water, I guess.
All right.
I mean, you could say that
There's some
about
water in it.
coffee. You could say that about
Dr.
beer,
Pepper,
like,
for God's sake.
It's true.
I don't think that counts.
Well, I drink beer. Yeah, but there's beer. There's water in the
in
beer.
beer. I don't think so.
It doesn't count.
I mean, yeah, but no.
Yeah, and everything else in the beer is sucking that part of it out of you.
Yeah.
It says I should be working, but the network is down, so I'm texting you guys. I should be helping around the house on Fridays, but it's my day. Those are my days off. Instead, I like to go and fish every Friday.
Okay.
Ooh, buddy.
That does sound
That
nice.
sounds good. That's good. All right, more of your calls, text, and talkbacks here in a few minutes. Also, another edition of Terrible News Over Happy Music. That's coming up here in like 20 minutes. It's 105.9 The Brew. Portland's rock station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. So earlier this morning, we were talking about simple things that made you feel rich as a kid. Or if you went over to your friend's house, and you're like, damn, I think they're rich.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't. It's just things that they had that made you think that they were rich, like a 3-car garage or a boat.
Yeah.
Or if they had like a playroom and all the video game systems that were out at the time they had.
Material possessions really gave you a different view of someone.
Yeah. We got some talkback messages through the iHeartRadio app from people.
Yeah, what's going on, Brew Crew? This is Chris from Portland. I remember growing up, whenever the kids showed up at school with new high tops, every new school year, oh, you hot money.
For sure.
Have a great weekend, Brew Crew.
So when I was in the 8th grade, I went to this place called Bensmead Middle School. It's right off 82nd. And it's called something else now. But the kids would show up in those awesome Jordans that would be like really shiny.
You remember the netted side ones were the ones I begged for.
Yeah.
And didn't get.
Of course, when you finally got a pair of Jordans, they looked ridiculous on you. But
but you wanted them. Back then you had the toggles and the little Nike Air tag.
Yeah, you'd see the other kids. You're like, damn. Because back then there was like, what, $100 I felt like for a pair of Jordans.
Which is like $500 in our mind now. I mean, because $100 in 1990 is a lot.
I never even had the real Airwalks. I had like the rip-off Airwalks.
I know, same. All the the Vans and the Airwalks at first, they were all knockoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford the good stuff.
Womp womp.
More talkbacks to the app.
Morning, Brew Crew. Chef Lenny here. Bing bong bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong bong.
My
Bing
friends
bong.
that I thought were rich are the ones that had all of the G.I. Joe stuff.
Yeah.
And like the Beta machine and thank you. Have a great day. Bing bong bong.
Bing bong bong.
And bing bong.
If they had all the G.I. Joes or they had like remember the Ninja Turtles thing, the big round, I think Krang came with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had that and they had the Ghostbusters house, like those are rich kids.
And there was a kid up the street from us, and I know that you grew up as an only child. You have a brother now, and it wasn't like this for you. But for us, there were a couple of only children who didn't have to share their stuff with siblings.
Right.
So you'd get to the top of the street, and he would have cases of playing cards and video games to trade, and we'd have one game, one Larry Bird card, one bent Jordan we're trying to get, but I felt like the kid who was alone had a better chance of having something sweet.
I did have better Christmases.
Even though my mom loaded for you.
My mom wasn't wealthy. She always really went out of her way to make sure my Christmases were good.
That's good.
So
and you don't have to match the other kid. Like if you love the train, you got to get 2 trains.
Yeah. Here's another talkback.
So there's a few things that I
I think I played that.
Still a classic clip, instant classic.
The one about eggs.
Yeah. He doesn't like them.
All right. Well, geez.
Man,
I still don't go to my friend's house because I feel poor. I don't want to go over there.
I know.
You guys all have good stuff.
It'd be like that sometimes. I'm like, oh, damn.
You got that?
Yeah.
Coming up in a few minutes, we are going to, we're not going to play a game, but we're going to do another edition of Terrible News Over Happy Music.
Kind of feels like a game.
I like it.
And it's a pretty terrible story, but hopefully the music will lighten the load.
Okay.
That's coming up in less than 15 minutes. We're commercial free on 105.9 The Brew. All right, we are a little over a month away from Trash Bandits.
Yeah.
We're going to get a bunch of people together, a bunch of listeners together, and hopefully... A posse. And hopefully clean up the city.
Yeah.
And we have decided on a park.
Yes, we have.
You know, the last week or two, we've been having people suggest places they think we should clean up. Maybe it's a park in their neighborhood. Maybe it's just something they took their kid to once and they thought was a little messy.
Or something they drive by every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of good, sorry, stop my music. There it is.
Yeah. Keep that going.
So we got a lot of suggestions, and I did see, I felt like this one came, the park name kept coming up, right?
Yeah.
Like people just kept saying this park, this park, this park. I don't know, probably like a dozen people suggested Lentz Park in Portland.
All right.
Let it be known.
Let it be known the Trash Bandits are coming to Lentz Park, April 19th. All right, you gotta saddle up, come on down. From 10 a.m. to noon, we'll be cleaning up the park and the area around it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna meet in the park, right? And then we'll issue our bags and grippers for everybody.
Yeah.
We'll go and clean up, and then afterwards, I think Papa John's is gonna, or who is it?
Papa Murph's.
Papa Murph's, sorry. Papa Murph's.
Whoop.
P. Murph's, as they're not on the street, will come out and feed us.
Yeah.
That's right. They got that party truck
Yeah.
full of hot pizza.
I want my own party pizza truck.
I just park it in
nice.
my front yard like I used to do at Laura's house.
Yeah.
Just eat pizza, let the grass grow.
Wait, what?
You had cars in your yard as a child.
Yeah, I did.
He said that today.
I did. I thought you were talking about. Well, never mind.
You didn't have pizza in the yard.
I was gonna say
there.
the cars didn't serve pizza though. It would have been a lot cooler if they did.
But we would have picked up trash all around your place.
Yeah, there would have been plenty of it, Drew.
So coming next week, we'll have some registration online at the website, 1059thebrew.com. And we're hoping that a bunch of listeners will just show up and sign up to be a trash bandit. Every single time we've done this, listeners have come through, and I appreciate them for that.
Great people.
So how long have we been doing trash bandits now? A couple years, right?
Handful of years.
The first year we did it is the year I started, so this will be our 4th year.
All right.
Because, Tanner, when we first discussed it, it was pre-pandemic. Because remember,
that's right.
We were about to do it in 2020 when it went kerplunk.
That's right.
So we've been doing it for a hot minute now.
Yeah, and it's going well so far, so let's not break the cycle.
Well, the Trash Bandits return, boys! April 19th, we're cleaning up Lentz Park from 10 a.m. to noon. We will see you there. We'll have some registration on the website coming next week, boys.
Yeah.
1059thebrew.com.
That's right.
Terrible news over happy music coming up next on The Brew. Happy Friday. St. Patrick's Day is coming up on Monday.
Woo-hoo.
And Monday morning around this time, a bagpiper is going to be in the studio to teach me how to do it. Teach us all, I guess, how to teach how to blow on the bagpipes. And I've never done it before. It looks really exhausting. It's really loud. I know that.
Yeah.
We've been accused of being full of hot air. We will put it to the test.
Yeah. So Monday, we'll celebrate St. Patrick's Day here on the show. What are you going to do this weekend, Laura? I know this is your favorite holiday.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have friends who are going out tomorrow, and I think they're getting to the designated location at like 9 a.m., which I will not be able to do. I have to work a bit tomorrow, and I feel like I should.
I just don't like to party that early.
I feel like I should.
It dies too quick if you party that early.
Go to the gym first. But my only thing is, if I get there late, everyone's gonna be sloshed already, and then it's gonna suck. I'm gonna have to play catch up, and so I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out at some point, but.
I can feel my mom is she's setting the trap. Even though I do like going there on St. Patty's, she's dropped the hint. She goes, "You know, we got some new sinks at the house. I think it's about time to have some people over. We got a brand new sink."
Sinks?
I'm like, you're using a sink as a reason to get 20 people over for St. Pat's.
It's really deep. Have you seen this thing?
Well, the Irish bar by my house, I can tell that all week they've been setting up tents outside and they've been preparing for the big day.
You will not see me at an Irish pub. That is for sure.
Well, but Monday's the day. You're not going out Monday, are you?
No, probably
So Saturday is Saturday.
Yeah.
Monday is when the tent pops.
I don't know. I think the tents are going to be popping all weekend. It's like the Super Bowl of St. Patty's Day. I think people are going to be celebrating all weekend.
I guess a lot of people still have to work on Monday. So I have a feeling
it will be a hot
Saturday
weekend.
and Sunday night might be the craziest nights for St. Patrick's Day. But if you want a list of things that's going on around town, 1059thebrew.com.
Yes.
All right. It's time for another edition of Terrible News Over Happy Music.
Oh, boy.
And oh boy, today's story is a doozy. This is really gross.
Okay.
An embalmer at a Houston funeral home has been accused of severing the member of a deceased man and then putting the organ in his own mouth.
Wait, whoa.
Back up.
Wait, what?
What organ? Which organ?
I just said it.
The organ?
And an embalmer at a Houston funeral home has been accused of severing the member
of a
deceased man.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to clarify. I missed the member.
And putting the organ in his own mouth.
In the dead man's mouth?
No,
Or
his
in
mouth.
But why would he?
Living mouth.
Why would you need to? I mean, not that you should be doing that anyway, but why would you cut it off first? Why couldn't you just keep it attached to the body?
That's a good point.
That's too weird.
This
makes it less weird.
This is way more normal.
I don't know.
The deceased man, Charles Roy Rodriguez, was a registered sex offender, apparently.
Weird.
Oh.
And it is suspected that his criminal history is provided for a motive for this act.
So
I mean, cutting it off.
That's how you get back at him when he's dead.
They made it sound like in the sentence that he put it in his own mouth. Maybe he did shove it in the corpse's mouth.
Okay, that would make more sense.
They just wrote it like it was like his mouth, but no, like the second sentence clarifies
They
that.
got to be careful with the wording on that.
Yeah. Oh my God! So the guy was a registered sex offender. The embalmer, got hot about it, cut it off, shoved it in the sex offender's dead mouth.
Okay, I'm supportive of this. Actually, that sounds good to me.
It's just the post-mortem thing is it's a little bit, it falls on deaf ears a little bit. Like if you were going to do something, like the dude doesn't know.
Well, another embalmer at this funeral home claims that they saw the coworker, Amber Page Laudermilk, abusing the corpse. The worker then says that Laudermilk told them, quote, "You didn't see anything."
See, now I don't, the fact that it's dismembered, it's like, didn't see anything. How do you think we're going to explain it?
Yeah.
The next person who looks at it like, this doesn't seem like the way the body came in.
Right.
Well, it's the member, so if it's before the funeral, it's going to be clothed, so you won't
just
see
throw
the
that
member.
back in some slacks.
How often do you reach down and see how it's hanging at a funeral?
Oh, you've never done a bulge check?
Just a little bulge check. No, I don't think you're gonna do
checked
that.
a great uncle once,
No.
just to make sure. You don't know what funny business happened in the basement.
So it sounds like a revenge thing. Like maybe the embalmer had been through something like this themselves, and it just made them angry.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
That's a medieval Game of Thrones
honestly,
stuff.
It's got to be.
guys, I could see myself doing something like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be that it happened to him, or it happened to someone he loves.
So Laura, you could see yourself cutting off somebody's member and then shoving it in his mouth?
Yeah, if he was a sex offender, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's payback. Maybe he didn't have payback in life, but he's going to have it in death.
I always feel like, I've felt for years that sex offenders, if it's depending on how bad it is, you maybe
Chop
should just
it off.
get castrated in the first place.
I'm saying.
Turn you into that dude from Game of
I'm
Thrones.
saying. Wait, so.
They should do it right at the Walmart where they catch him on video. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, come on out front, buddy.
We're going to go to the.
Whack!
The meat department.
Like,
Come on
yeah,
back here.
The way I feel is that the sex offenders, especially with a child or something like that, like, I think to myself, well, you've proven you can't be trusted with that thing. So it's like a license. We're taking it away.
Right, yeah.
And it's honestly nicer than what would happen to them if you walked in on them doing it to your kid, because they wouldn't have a head
for
on
sure.
their
They'd
shoulders,
be dead.
let alone a
Yeah.
weenie to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is. I guess that's some. And the guy's still dead, but I don't know if that's if that's revenge or just.
It's got to be revenge. I mean, yeah. But she got arrested for that.
Yeah,
Is that like desecration of a?
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
It's a special club, members only.
All right. Well, good to know.
That's a weak weenie joke for you on the way into your weekend.
Thank you.
A flaccid weenie joke for you.
Love them. Those are my favorite.
Who's
types of
got their
jokes.
taxes done?
I do.
So what is it? You got a month left?
Yeah, till
15th?
the 15th,
15th?
or perhaps the 19th, depending on when it falls. If it falls on a weekend, I guess it's that Monday. But
Well, the IRS is warning of some 2025 dirty dozen tax scams.
Okay.
So if you haven't done them yet, I don't know if it's you have to worry about it if you haven't done them yet or not. But the Internal Revenue Service has issued their annual list of the dirty dozen tax scams, which is nice because
you want to know what's coming at you,
and they probably know what the scam is first before anybody else.
Yeah.
According to the IRS, scammers often use tax season to try to trick people with scams, including fake emails claiming to be from the IRS, promising a refund. They'll also warn of, quote, wildly inaccurate tax advice on social media and fake help for creating a taxpayer's IRS online account.
Ah.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, the IRS is never going to email you and promise you money. That's not what they do.
Anytime they reach out to you ahead of time, whether it's the fake IRS or a fake tax handler, like, oh, I'll do your taxes. Nah. Like, you make sure they're accredited and go to them.
Yeah, check and double check that stuff.
Yeah, not just some guy you met at a bar one night.
He's like, dude, just give me all your files and your credit card number.
Bad social media advice, fake help for creating an IRS account, the bogus self-employed tax credit, the overstated withholding scam, email phishing scams. There's just a gajillion different scams out there, and they're just saying, be aware and do, I would say that if you get something like that from the IRS, then don't click on anything in that. Don't call any number that's in there, and just call the IRS directly. From you Google them, you get their direct line or their email or whatever, and you just email them and call them directly instead of whatever was sent to you.
Yeah, that's a smart
Because then you'll be able to
idea.
find out if it's real or not, because they'll tell you.
That's right. And that tax credit thing, that is the biggest clicker of all time. Like, now they're doing like, oh, you get your Doge check and all this other stuff. So people are clicking all these fake links, even videos where it looks like a press conference and then you look at their mouth and it's like not doing the words that it's saying on the screen.
Oh, I can't stand those.
It's like, wait a second. This is supposed to be a White House briefing and that's not, they're not speaking.
The one that kept coming up was Warren Buffett, and he's about to die, and he's decided to give away his billions. Click this to find out how.
Yeah, and you've got some mumbles McGriff. It's, I don't know, if it's too good to be true, it is.
It probably is. Yeah, you got to be careful out there.
Your taxes are done though, Laura, huh?
Mine are done, and my return is already spent.
Yeah,
It's
mine too.
Gone, poof.
Went straight to credit card debt.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you got a sweet guitar though. So
I did, but I got that off.
That is true.
I got that off points on my credit card.
But it helps you also,
It
like
did.
who saw a
The
little
only reason I
bit.
bought it is because I cleared my bank my debt.
Treat yourself.
I treated myself.
Yeah, wait, so, but like, what are your points for? What was that?
So you like
Amazon?
Yeah, through my credit card, you get points for every time you spend money.
Damn,
you get
It's
some
a credit
points.
card. You have points.
No,
on a credit
I know,
card.
but I guess I've never made such a large purchase with Amazon points.
I know. I had to build that up. I haven't used those points in like 2 years. It took me forever to get those points.
Wow.
I forgot that I even had them until like.
That's always fun when you're like,
a month
oh
ago.
wow.
Yeah.
But that is the nice thing is everyone complains about the price of life. Well, the price of life is expensive, but they result in points. And
Yeah, at
when
least
you
you get a
add up those
return on
points,
that, yeah.
you're like I hadn't used my points in my entire credit card history, and we went to Hawaii a couple of years ago on points. So
It's nice.
if you're gonna spend on everyone else, then eventually you're gonna get something back.
Yeah.
I used points to go to Disneyland for the first time a couple years ago, and I spent $1,000 on the whole trip to Disneyland.
That's nice.
Like I just paid my credit card bill like an hour ago, and there better be a lot of points associated. There better be.
I know. Like when you buy a big purchase, you make a big purchase, you're like, dude, I better be getting mad points on this one.
I know. Do you ever check your points and you're like disappointed?
Yeah.
You're like, for everything I've spent?
I get pissed.
What?
It's not enough points.
It's not.
It really isn't for
But
what you do.
it's something, I guess.
All right, 98197. That's our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line, 98197. We're going to find out what's trending next. Hang on.
Now, what's trending?
All right, online at 1059thebrew.com. A lot of good stuff. You got the Donkey Show podcast from this week. A lot of behind-the-scenes looks into the show and origins of how we got our names. And plus, our parents really hate it, so you should check it out before we take them down.
It's a good way to get to know the show on another level.
Yeah. It's loaded, was it Tuesday through Thursday?
Yes.
At 1059thebrew.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally unedited and uncensored. Also online, what was that clip that you posted today, Laura?
I didn't post anything today.
I asked you to post something today.
No, you didn't.
I did.
There was something sexy from yesterday.
Yeah, there was something
I'm looking it up.
earlier this week I did.
Oh, God. Dang it.
It was, I'll tell you. Oh, it's the tornado hits the TV studio.
No, but I had something else that I asked you to... Oh, Laura, you and I are going to fight.
You didn't. Drew, you will be the
Don't
decider.
I can smell
hate that.
it.
Oh, Drew,
I can smell
it.
a weekend. You two are fight it out on your
we
own.
need a third party.
No, we
because
don't. You messed up, and it's fine.
And I'm not always in the room.
I'm not even mad about it. I just want you to acknowledge it.
I'm not always in the room.
But I'm not
Get me
going
out of
to
it.
because.
There was something, and I think it was some trailers for the movies today, like that are out, like The Electric State, which is in theaters today. It's got a 19.
You asked me to check the score of the.
We've moved on.
I just want.
My mouth is
everyone to
really
know.
dry. So.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna.
He's pivoting, Laura.
I will be listening to the podcast immediately following this show.
Well, it won't be on. It could be during a commercial. We don't record when people go to the bathroom.
Drew, whose side are you on here? This is unfair.
Mine and deserving.
You know what? Everyone's been ganging up on me this week.
Oh, please.
Making me watch those terrible videos.
I'm taking the side of Switzerland today.
That's what you got to watch. So the video earlier this week of this dad, if you missed it, you got to see this video. This dad sucked the snot out of his son's nose with his mouth.
Aggressive.
And it was like one of those big, giant chunks that went down to his kid's lip. Just thinking about it makes me gag. But Laura's reaction to it is priceless. And that video is online.
Good way to ring in the weekend. Send it to a friend. You know, watch the video and send it to a friend.
Because you can
Send it to your worst enemy.
You can see Laura's reaction, and then you can also see the videos that we're watching.
Yeah, you get the full
in the
meal
corner.
deal.
So follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and all the socials at 1059thebrew or at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Yes.
Have a safe weekend. I know St. Patty's Day is coming up on Monday, and we're going to have a bagpiper in here teaching us how to blow the bagpipes.
Blow the pipes.
Blow
Gotta
those
get my
pipes.
green underpants pulled out.
Oh, yeah.
Get them lodged in case you.
Don't do that. Don't do the green underwear.
I like the
shtick.
undercover. You pinch me and I'm all BAM! Underpants.
Just wear some green. You're wearing green today.
I'm sure I will. If the Ducks win the tournament this weekend, more Duck gear.
But also, if Michigan State wins a tournament, then you can that they have green too. So
That won't be happening.
Okay.
Where Michigan, okay, whoever wins, I'm going to change my allegiance. That sounds like you.
It's just going to be, I think she meant just be supportive for a friend, but.
I just
She's
hope,
not a Michigan
I'm not a Michigan
fan.
State fan.
Oh, so you're just trying to embarrass him? For God's
She's
sake?
being a pain in the ass, a bad friend, the opposite.
Let's go to McD. Good morning, McD.
Good morning, crew. Happy Fridays, y'all.
Happy Friday.
Thanks for a fantastic week. Yeah.
I can't believe you're awake right now. Weren't you up late on a mountain looking at the blood moon or something?
Yeah, that did happen, and ran into Skeezus from the Edgefield Bacon and Beer. That was pretty ironic.
Were you able to see the blood moon last night? Because I didn't wake up for it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We got some good pictures of it too.
Okay,
nice. Send them over.
How long did it last? They say it was going to last like an hour.
65 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, about that. I didn't time it, but
it was pretty cloudy up there. Was it cloudy up there, or did you get a clear view?
It was cloudy. Yeah, it was cloudy at the mountain. We got a couple shots when we were up on the hill, but once I got back to Portland, you could see it great. It was crystal clear.
He goes all the way up there,
Yeah.
and then when he gets back to where he started, beautiful shot.
Yeah. Man, I'm bummed I didn't wake up for it.
Well, once you get those pictures posted, I want to see them. We'll put them on the Tanner, Drew, and Laura Instagram page, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do. Absolutely.
All right. So
Yep.
if you miss the blood
You guys
moon,
rock.
you can either catch it on a Ring camera in your social somewhere, or McD's going to send us his photos.
Yeah.
So
I'm
follow
sure they'll
us.
be blurry and blown out, overexposed.
All right.
But it's fine.
All right, dude.
Yeah. All right. I love you guys. Have a great weekend.
See you, buddy.
Like your pictures. Have a blown out weekend.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Blow it out.
Actually.
All right.
We can only hope. You know?
I'm done. We'll see you
That's
tomorrow.
it. That's it.
Bye.